In the previous lecture, we fixed the navbar and we added a new route, which is logout route. In this lecture, we are going to clean up our home page so that every page will have the same layout and will have a consistent look. So let's go take a look at our boilerplate.ejs. Let's go to under views and click on boilerplate. To be honest, we don't even need this layout page actually. So we're gonna delete it. But before that, we are going to copy this. We're gonna cut it and we're gonna go to our home page, which is in main, and click on home.ejs, and you're gonna paste it down below. And right now what you want to do is you want to copy some of the content here, which is this. We're gonna cut it and you're gonna delete this one. You're gonna paste it here and you're gonna cut this as well. And paste it here as well, and this you want to change learn more to sign up. And next is you want to replace this tree with this content that we just created. So you want to change this to delete this. And we don't need a button, so we're just gonna delete it. Delete this as well. Alright, looking nice. Next, same thing, we're gonna copy this and we're just gonna delete this too. And we're gonna delete this button as well. Same goes to the last content. And we're gonna delete this as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete this. And instead of depending on boilerplate, you want to change this to layout. Let's save it and let's go to our layout e.ejs, and you want to remove this container. All right, and you want to save it. Okay, now let's go back to our atom. We already know atom. Now let's go delete our boilerplate.ejs since we don't need it anymore. Let's delete it. Move to trash. And let's go back to our browser and click enter. And now we have this very nice looking, kind of like the beginning of our e-commerce website. Okay, as you can see, but there's some problem here. There's some like spaces or gaps between the Jumbotron and the navbar. So let's go ahead and fix that. First, we delete this first. Don't save. And let's go back to our custom.css. All right, let's go to public. So we want to add an ID so that it can position itself nearby to the navbar. So let's go ahead and do that. You want to name it navbar. All right, we're gonna give it an ID, not a class. So navbar gap. I don't know what name is relevant now, but that's the only name I could think of. Then you type margin to the top by -2%. Let's test it out. Let's go back to home.ejs. You want to add the ID here, navbar -gap. So let's go back to our Google Chrome and see. All right, so now we still have some spaces. Let's go back to our atom and let's adjust it a little bit. But that's an easy way to do that. Go to Chrome and you right click on your Jumbotron and inspect. And in this box element of style, you want to type in margin to the top, or we can actually change this and then you can adjust it. So the nicest is -4%. So let's go back to our home.ejs and we go to custom.css and then change this to -4%. Let's go back. So now it's looking good. All right, so let's go click our sign up to see whether everything is good. All right, it's cool. How about login? All right, now everything is working fine. So now we want to put our JavaScript files in a separate partial file. So let's go ahead to our atom and let's go to layout.ejs, and you want to copy, actually cut it, and you want to create a new file under partials, and you want to give it a name, JavaScript only.ejs, and then you're going to paste it here. And once done, go back to layout and you want to include that file. Call it JavaScript only. So now let's go back to our navbar.ejs, and I made some mistake. I put actually drop down. I forgot to add n here, and the other one is I forgot to close this UL tag. So let's go ahead and do that. So save it, and let's go back to our Chrome. So right now we have a very consistent look throughout our website. So now we have another problem. We have to fix our sign up route. So we go back to our sign up route under user. Let's close all of these files first because we just want to focus on one file each time. So go to user.js under routes folder. Currently, if the user has signed up, all right, if the user has signed up, it will directly redirect the user straight to a home route without storing the cookie in the browser. And that is a really bad user experience. We want to redirect the user back to a profile page once he actually signed up. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, in here, we're gonna delete this. Okay, so how we're gonna do that? We're gonna type in request.login with an I capital, all right? And then you're gonna pass in the user object and then an anonymous function with a parameter of error only. And then you're gonna open bracket. And then you're going to enter if there's an error, return a callback with that error. And next is you want to redirect the user to a profile. All right. So this line over here is technically, this login is technically is adding the session to the server and cookie to the browser by using this login function. And the user object is based on the result of the new user creation, which we created over here. Let's say you save it and then you can actually add another parameter called user. This will be the save object, and then you pass in to request.login. So this user will have the session and cookie on the browser and session on the server. So let's test it out. Let's create a new user. All right, let's go back to our Chrome. And since we are not logged in or sign up, let's go ahead and sign up a new user. We're going to name it Bruce, email bruce@gmail.com, and a password ABC123. We submit. Now you have it. It redirect back the user to a profile page. But look at the layout. It looks pretty ugly, right? Because we forgot to add a div container in a profile page. So let's go back to atom and let's go ahead to our profile.ejs. The reason being because we took out the div container in the layout.ejs and we actually took it out. So that's why all of the pages under the layout.ejs has to put div. You have to put div class container so that it will have some spaces between on the left side and on the right side. For example, if you type in div container, save it, go back to browser and you refresh, and there you have it. It's looking nice. But right now we have to do something that will make this profile looks a little bit interesting. All right, we want to add like a profile picture to our profile so that it looks a little bit nicer, and it kind of add an identity to a user. And the easiest way to do that is to use a Gravatar.com API. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go to our atom and let's go to our user.ejs, and actually not user.ejs under Rust folder, but user.ejs on the models folder. So we'll go ahead here and we're gonna move this. Okay, right now what we're going to do is we want to create a custom method. All right, name it user schema. I'm going to type in code first, and I'm going to explain to you guys what it does. So I'm going to name it grepcar function with a size as a parameter. Next, if not this size equals, put the size equals 200. Next is you wanna, if this is not an email, then simply return the HTTPS of the gravatar.com avatar, and then you wanna type in this plus the size, and then type in D equals retro. And next is if this is the email, then you simply type in MD5 crypto dot create hash and type in MD5 update this dot email dot digest. Same thing, gravatar.com avatar plus MD5 plus same thing, which is as equals to the plus size. Then you want to put it this one, D equals to retro. Okay. So what is going on in this new method? First, there is no size to be specified, then simply set it to 200. If there's no size to be specified, then make it equals to 200 by default, alright? Next is, this link is just an API from Gravatar website, meaning they let us use one of their routes so that we could have a profile picture. But this is technically what it's saying is, if not this email, if not the user's email to be more specific, then simply return a random image. So if this is user email, then you want to hash it into MD5 encryption so that it will be unique to each user. Each user will have a unique picture. And then you want to return it, and then you add the MD5 in the API itself. So this picture will belong to only you as a user. So let's save it. And now let's delete off all of the users in our MongoLab database, because most of our users don't have the picture. So now let's sign up a new user. But first, let's go ahead and go to Chrome and delete all of the users. So you're gonna click delete all documents in this database. Use database. So delete it. Also go back to terminal, and you want to refresh this database. You want to kind of like restart it. So start it again. All right, connect to database. All right, so right now what we want to do is we want to go back to project name. Actually, we want to log it out. We want to log out the user. So let's log out. Okay, log out the user. But before we sign up a new user, let's style our profile.ejs to make it look a little bit nicer than before. So let's go to our atom and let's go to profile.ejs. As you can see, it's only one data. We wanted to have profile, email, name, and a picture. So let's go ahead and do that. So delete all of this, delete this, and type in div class equals row, and close the row. I'll type in div class called sm shan called mp4. So what this is saying is, I want to bring this column to the left side of a row under the container. Okay, you will see it later. Okay, next is you want to type in the image. Of course, you want to put the image first, and you want to give it like a bootstrap rules, image circle, image responsive, and lastly image center. And you want to give it a source, which is user.profile.picture. Then you want to give it an alternative if the picture doesn't exist. And now you're going to add some spaces between your name and the picture, and as well as the email. So name user.profile.name. I'm going to close the p tag, and next is not a p tag, which is email user.email. Next is the address of the user.address. Alright, so now is everything looking good. But before we move on and actually sign up the user, we forgot to do one little tiny thing. So let's go back to our user.js, not under models, under routes. So let's go back here and let's go to our sign up route. So whenever the users sign up, we actually don't save the picture in the profile.picture under the models. We didn't actually do that. So let's say if we type in profile.picture, you have to specify it to user.gravatar. So once a user has signed up, he will have a picture. So let's save this and let's go to our Google Chrome and refresh this just for safety. And then click sign up. Let's create a new username and we're gonna give it a name KyloRen, Kylo@gmail.com, and ABC123. Submit. And we forgot to define one more thing actually. So let's go back to our atom and let's go to our models and user.js. What did we forgot to do? We forgot to require this built-in Node.js library because it's already in the Node.js. So you just need to require crypto. You don't even need to install it. So save it. So go back here. Maybe I'll go back and sign up. It's loading. All right, cool. KyloRen, Kylo@gmail.com. Submit. And there you have it. We have a very nice looking picture by Grav.com, and we have name and we have email except for address. And we're gonna do that in the next video. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.